Are you good to go? No, last time, unfortunately, we were a little late, but now we're right on time. So allow me to, first of all, welcome all of you to City Hall for this very brief press statement, after which I can take one or two questions from all of you. So welcome, and you've come in good numbers. I'd like to address the issue that you all know has been happening between the Nairobi County Government and Kenya Power and Lighting Company. And this matter has had a history. You know, it has been a matter running over many years, where the county has claimed money owed to it, around 4.5 billion, 4.9 billion to be exact. And Kenya Power had claims against the county. Initially, the claim was at 3 billion. We undertook a joint verification exercise over a whole year, where we looked at meters and accounts. We found some of those meters and accounts not being within the purview of Nairobi County. Some were very far away. And ultimately we settled. You know, we're both government. We settled on an amount, and we agreed on a payment process. The county government is mandated to collect fees and charges as well, because the people of Nairobi want services. The people of Nairobi want their roads fixed. They want, garbage collected. They want medicine in hospitals. And so there has been a long-standing issue around the bailiffs, which previously used to be paid but had not been paid for a long time. Now, in the same way that when you don't pay electricity, Kenya Power disconnects you, the county government has remedies under the National Rating Act 2024, which was signed into law by our President, William Ruto, that stipulates actions that can be taken by the county government. Some of these actions include removal of county services, and also include, clamping a building. And I think you've seen it before, where the county government has come and taken over a building or prevented access to premises, so that matter is resolved. However, I'm happy that today we've had a meeting, a fruitful meeting, with the leadership of the Ministry of Energy, led by Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi. We had the head of public service, we had Kenya Power Limited, and we had our officers and teams. And we agreed on a number of issues, and a joint statement is going to be issued. The joint statement will clarify the issues that we've agreed upon. The first thing we've resolved, that all hostilities end, and issues be sorted out amicably. We have now given instructions to restore water supply to their premises, and to remove the trucks that had been blocking access. It was, of course, unfortunate that one of the trucks tipped garbage. That was not the intention, and that is why in less than 30 minutes all that garbage was collected. That is not how Nairobi County operates, and our own action will be dealt with internally. Further to that, we agreed that those commercial disputes, us saying you owe us this, them saying you owe us this, are going to be resolved between myself and the Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, Opiyo Wandayi. And if need be, the Intergovernmental Technical Relations Committee will also come, to resolve that. We also agreed, because the law is clear on development control. All development control within a county is under the purview of the county government. Whether it is power lines, whether it is electricity transmission, that is under PLUPA, Physical Land Use Planning Act 2019, as well as its schedules. In specific, the third schedule. And so the issue of wayleaves will be discussed. That one we shall agree together. Already, the summit, which is chaired by His Excellency the President and attended by all governors in the country, agreed that all government institutions must adhere to development control regulations. And now I'm very happy with many of them, especially Kenha, where before doing a road or before doing any development, they seek approval and concurrence with the county government. We have seen proliferation of lines and fiber and cutting down of trees to create space for that activity which is commercial. But we've resolved it amicably. So I think further to that, because we've resolved all those issues, and really, really, no one wishes for such a situation. We had meetings as recently as December and agreed this is how we'll be solving our issues. But when you just disconnect us at will, then we're also entitled to enforce. But an eye for an eye, we will lose our sight, and that is not the country that we want. But I'd also like to take this opportunity as a notice, because we're doing a lot of work in this city. We're building stadia, we're building schools, ECDs, we're building hospitals, we're feeding children, we're sorting out, you've seen the cleanup work that is happening. Everybody must pay their fair share of what is required in this county. And so this notice is to now, beyond that issue, to all ratepayers in Nairobi. The deadline for payment of rates is March of 2025. You can get your bills on www.nairobiservices.go.ke or dial *647#. I think it's good to remind all of us of our responsibility. The National Rating Act 2024 provides in section 19(2) that where a person who has been properly served with a demand notice defaults in paying rates or those charges from the county government may, one, levy a penalty at the prevailing central bank rate, deny certain county services, institute a suit against the defaulter, create a charge against the rateable property by notifying the registrar in charge of land, or apply any methods to recover rates as specified under this act or any other method as authorized by law. You can also appoint a receiver on the rateable property to recover rent from tenants. We've seen it before, some buildings here, I think very close to us, where the county for a while was able to recover the rents directly. Attachment of debts or auction of property, and usually that is the last resort. So that is our statement. Tumesema ya kwamba uhasama wote uishe, tumekaa chini, tumesikizana, tumekubaliana, na ilikuwa jambo ambalo hata ilikunipendeza mambo ya kumwaga takataka. Hiyo malori yalikuwa yazibe tu vile sheria inakubali. Na ndio maana kwa muda mchache sana waliweza kukokota hiyo taka. Lakini leo baada ya mkutano tumeondoa hata hizo magari, zimeondolewa, kumefunguliwa, maji inarudishwa, pamoja na huduma zote ambazo county inazingatia, kwa sababu tumekubaliana ni njia gani hizo deni ambazo tunawadai zitalipwa. Zile zetu tulikuwa tushakubaliana njia ya kuwalipa polepole, kwa sababu deni za zamani sana, lakini lazima ulipe kidogo ile ya zamani na pia ya sasa, ili yote iwe sambamba. Na sote tuko na jukumu la kuheshimiana, tuko na jukumu la kuangaliana wote kama mandugu. Si sote ni serikali. Mambo kama haya kweli haifai kufikia wananchi, na kwa hiyo tunasikitika, lakini hapo ndio tumefika. na tunatumai tuendelea vizuri pamoja. So asanteni sana, thank you very much. I shall take 2 questions. And from a gentleman. Ulikuwa na mashabiki. Any questions? Pole? Bradley. Yes. Both ways.
Yes. Would you mind if you give us maybe insights of the agreement that you had following the
Well, as I've said, there'll be a joint statement, but we've set up, we've agreed, myself and the Minister for Energy, we look at what we're claiming and what they're claiming. Of course, what they are claiming, we had already agreed on, procedural payments. Last Friday we did 100 million, we had done 30 before. And so every month we agreed we do 60 of the debt and 40. And remember, it's a long-standing debt from the days of the city council, But the first thing was for them to recognize their debt, which they have said that session between myself and the minister should be able to unlock. Because ordinarily you will say, I am asking them for 4.9 billion. They're asking me for 1.5. Si wakate tu alafu wanipatie change, but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately, in government. Courts are the last resort. What happened is the last resort, and it's truly regrettable. But it is, it can't unhappen, and we're here now, and so, and we're happy, that the head of public service has emphatically said that all ministries, because there are many with bills, there are many who don't pay for their rates, there are many who may not have been paying, different things. Everyone should take responsibility for what they owe the country. Hawa wananchi wanahitaji huduma. Wakiona shimo kwa barabara wanasema ni Sakaja, lakini watu walipi. Unajua si lazima ilipwe. Unasema nitoe dimple kwa barabara, lakini siwezi ziba na Big G, nahitaji lami na nahitaji kuilipia na kununua. And so that is why I've spoken about the enforcement. And this year we're going to be very firm on enforcement of rates. Some people have been waiting not to pay, waiting for a waiver. There is no waiver this year. There is no waiver. There is no waiver. The deadline is March. We're going to do enforcement. And we're going to follow the provisions of the law. There was a second one, maybe the lady? Ramogi. Yeah. 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 And unfortunately, as the event may have been, sometimes there's that collateral when there's a rateable owner. The person who's a rateable owner of that property is Kenya Power. And so when you enforce against them, you might have a tenant, and it's really regrettable what they have to go through. We went and told them, look, we can come and sort the thing out together. We'll even plant and beautify the place, because you must also show the people that we're not enemies. We're not sisi maadui. And it's the same way when they disconnect this building, citizens suffer also. And you can't access services, you can't take a lift up, and so there's also damage to the people who are here. We have tenants, we have banks that are tenants at Annex, and so government should not deal in that way. I agree 100%. That is not how we should be dealing, and moving forward, we shall both endeavor to exhaust all those avenues. As I've said, we've had several meetings, including one just in December. Asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki. Mwisho kabisa. Yes, Willie. Yeah. Yes. Yes. You see, and it's very good that you've asked that question about the ICT infrastructure. The law is clear that this ICT infrastructure on where lives are supposed to be paid to the county. What happened is at some point, Kenya Power offered them their backbone for them to put on top, and they pay Kenya Power, but they don't pay us. You know, the same way if you have an advertisement on a billboard that is illegal, the billboard will go down. And sometimes the person who's put the advertisement is not the guilty party. We've reached out, and of course, there is a core. We support the digital superhighway. We support it. We have an entire department sector on innovation and digital economy. We want that to be done, but we want things to be done properly. And I think this forum that we've now created between ourselves and the national government should be able to provide, a way forward. We've also spoken to the ISPs and the telcos yesterday. We're going to be meeting them to also tell them how they can be further compliant, because they want to just provide a service. And it's unfortunate, when you disconnect the internet, there are businesses, there's even schools that are connected to fiber and they don't get access. It's really unfortunate. It's nothing that we like to do, It is what it is. We have to get things done. Yeah. So asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki. Tuliwakaribisha chai lakini after revenue. Asanteni and may God bless you. Thank you.